Some of the swampiest parts of Washington operate in the dark. Places you never think about, perhaps have never even heard of, are ripe with corrupt behavior precisely because they don't face public scrutiny. Places like the Export-Import Bank.
What is the Export-Import Bank?
The what?
I don't know.
What? I don't know.
Have you heard of it? You should. It's a federal agency dishing out corporate welfare, and it's in the crosshairs of tonight's Swamp Watch. Amazingly, then Senator Barack Obama, as a candidate for president in 2008, explicitly called out the bank's swampy behavior.
The Export-Import Bank that's become little more than a fund for corporate welfare.
Well said, Senator. But then what happened after the election when it was time to reauthorize this swampy institution?
You'll hear some critics suggest that, well, this is just corporate welfare for big multinationals.
Excuse me? Some critics? You were one of them. Wow. Obama got swamped real quick. The Export-Import Bank uses our tax dollars to provide subsidized loans and loan insurance to foreign buyers of American goods. So, for example, if Air India wants to buy planes from Boeing, Ex-Im will loan Air India the money at below-market interest rates. I'm not exactly sure how that counts as exports if American taxpayers are fronting the money for it, but still, the defenders of this bank claim that it exists to support American small businesses. Really? Over 60% of its financing helps just 10 giant corporations like Boeing, Caterpillar, GE and Bechtel, the same giant corporations that spend millions lobbying the politicians in charge of the Export-Import Bank. But it gets worse. Reuters found that as much as $3 billion listed as loans to small businesses was misclassified. Among those categorized as small businesses were a division of billionaire Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway and a subsidiary of Mexican businessman Carlos Slim's global conglomerate. He's one of the richest people on earth. How generous of you, the US taxpayer, to help him out. Last month on Swamp Watch, we exposed the green lobby and companies like Solyndra and Abengoa for their government handouts. Turns out both those swamp things got cash from the Export-Import Bank before they went bankrupt. Solyndra got $10 million in loan guarantees and Abengoa got a $33 million loan from Ex-Im. And which citizen of the swamp was at the center of that? None other than Democratic former governor of New Mexico, Bill Richardson. Richardson sat on both the advisory board of the Ex-Im Bank and the board of Abengoa around the time that one lent taxpayers' money to the other. Okay, let's not pretend to be surprised. I mean, any time the federal government doles out money, fraud and corruption are bound to follow. Ex-Im is no exception. In fact, we found at least 85 indictments for fraud, bribery or other wrongdoing involving the Ex-Im Bank. We could spend all night showing you examples of swamp dwellers who got caught stealing our money, but the problems with the bank are even bigger than that. Advocates claim it's okay to put taxpayer dollars on the line because the bank actually makes money for the federal government. Not true. They're loaning out our money at below market interest rates. They're effectively giving it away. The Manhattan Institute found that, quote, Ex-Im Bank's profits are almost surely an accounting illusion. And Forbes wrote, by offering loan guarantees at below market rates, the bank will effectively lose $2 billion over the next decade, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Advocates also claim that this swampy bank protects American manufacturing jobs because their clients couldn't export as much without cheap financing. What? Boeing, GE, Bechtel, these are titans of industry. Why can't they find private lenders to finance their deals at market interest rates just like all their competitors, not using Ex-Im loans? Export subsidies may boost the profits of the giant corporations who get them, but that doesn't mean they're good for the economy as a whole. In fact, it's bad for the economy because it shifts capital, economic growth and jobs from unsubsidized firms to subsidized ones, also known as politically connected ones. It even hurts some of our own domestic companies. Delta, for example, can't buy Boeing planes with subsidized Ex-Im loans, while foreign airlines like Air India can. That puts Delta at an economic disadvantage with foreign competitors, prompting a legal and lobbying battle between Delta and Boeing over the fate of Ex-Im. In any case, 98% of US exports happen without any involvement of the Export-Import Bank. Hanging on to it is nothing more than big, fat corporations hanging on to their handouts. Handouts that working Americans pay for. Now, here's the good news. In a bold move, President Trump just nominated former Congressman Scott Garrett to head the Ex-Im Bank. Here's Garrett on the House floor just 2 years ago.
They are resurrecting this fund for corporate welfare. You see, the Export-Import Bank transformed the role of government from a disinterested referee in the economy into a biased actor that uses your taxpayer dollars to tilt the scales in favor of its friends. The proposal before us is the resurrection of a bank that embodies the corruption of the free enterprise system.
Now you're talking. Let's hope he gets in there and shuts down the disgusting corporate welfare. Of course, all the crony capitalists with their snouts in this lucrative trough are lining up to oppose his nomination. But Garrett is right and the cronies are wrong.